Alright, so we're looking at the top games released on Steam, week 26, the 23rd to the 29th of June 2025. There were 374 games released on Steam this week. I'm only looking at games that have English or are English translated, so if it looks like this, I can't look at it. No adult content stuff. No games released this week as version 1.0 that peaked in early access or months ago. We'll go through the top 10 games by peak player count for games released this week from SteamDB peak player count. It's just the top 10 according to SteamDB. It's not what I think is a good game. We'll look at the top rated, the follows, and the player count for the week. I can't do wishlist because it's not public. And why the hell am I doing this? Because I want to look at what gamers actually play versus the hype, right? What you see in the media versus what gamers actually play. Were there any notable omissions? So games with lots of hype or in the news cycle but weren't actually in the top 10? None this week. Alright, at number 10 we have the RPG My First Dungeon Smells. My First Dungeon Smells is an introductory free short chapter from the RPG. Dive in and get a taste or a smell of what it means to be an adventurer, uncover mysteries and find the way out. You will be able to transfer your save file to the full game when it comes out. So this is free to play. Currently had a peak player count of 777 and sitting at a very positive 94%. Greetings, I'm a game developer and my name is Dionysus Coriites. I cannot say it. My current project is the RPG. It's a minimalistic Skyrim and Superland and West of Loathing. It's a playful RPG light with adventure with intentionally twisted traditional role-playing game aspects where your choices do matter. They are a solo dev, but I couldn't find where they're from. And so let's look at the reviews. Wonder with a positive, one of the most enjoyable dungeon crawler games I've ever played. But this stands out to me with its unique personality and clever references. Zobu with a positive, it is a fun adventure game. There are many encounters, places and secrets to find. Can be quite grindy though. There are many weapons and armor to buy and they cost a lot compared to how slowly you get money. Picking up and stealing loot at first felt nice, but after I'd done that hundreds of times, I started to wish for some auto pickup crap option. All in all, I had fun and would recommend. If the demo is this long, then how long is the full game going to be? Remaster with a positive. Overall enjoyable experience. Being able to steal something and then put the guards to sleep to get away with is a cool way of not relying on quick saves like in Elder Scrolls. The upgrade system is pretty cool, but some of them are for the moment pretty useless. For your first game, it's very good. You do a very good job at keeping the game unique, even whilst borrowing from different games. And there was only 4 negative reviews to choose from, so this is Mac. I had a bug which made me walk incredibly slow indoors. This led me to being able to progress after a certain point. I tried everything to no avail. Right, at number 9 we have Project Silverfish. Explore a hostile living world, uncover forgotten horrors, both man-made and supernatural, as you hunt for powerful weapons and exotic artifacts. Currently $25.99 with a peak player count of 784 and sitting at a very positive 96%. Developer is Sirius Pendrake. They've previously released Attica back in 2022, also sitting at quite positive with a peak player count of 131. It's a solo dev, but I couldn't find out where they are from. I'm a single indie dev and self-taught digital artist just trying to make some good video games. So positive here from Monarch. It has great potential, but please get rid of RNG lockpicking. I shouldn't break 20 lockpicks just trying to open one door and then reload the game and open it first try. Oh my god, Masonator with 275 hours at the time of review. Absolutely fire game. This is the most fun early access game I've ever played and it's definitely my favourite right now. Has so much love and care and content and there's still so much more that is left to be added. Basically this game is Sim Stalker but with lizards and without the pain and suffering of the Stalker series. There are so many things I love about this game, not to mention that the developer is very communicative and open to feedback. I cannot recommend it enough. It does basically everything well, giving you lots of control over how you play and how difficult your experience is. If you enjoyed Stalker, you will enjoy this. Asp Kisser with a positive. Fantastic game. I will no doubt be sinking many more hours into it. However, I must give a word of warning. If you are like me and enjoy a tidy workspace, you must simply stomach the fact that the broker's lantern will forever be rolling around on the floor in their office. Should you attempt to return it to the desk like a good little flunky and drop it slightly too hard, it will explode and light the marketeer on fire, probably killing them and getting you shot in the back of the head by your rightly annoyed fellow freelancers. The broker does not respawn. Very good game. What the hell? Oh god. Alright, and last one. King Ball Smear. An inferior early access version of Stalker, Anomaly, or Gamma for $30 instead of free. The art style is Unreal Asset Store. You play as furries running around a large empty map shooting at other furries. No playable humans despite them existing in-game in robot bodies. Gameplay consists of wandering around the empty Unreal Asset Store while pressing E on obvious loot containers to find a bunch of lame loot whilst doing side quests that are also lame and boring. Right, at number 8 we have Cast and Spell. It's an action-packed multiplayer game where wizards battle using elemental magic, fight in PvP duels, or team up with friends in co-op to defeat monsters. Currently $2.99 and had a peak player count of 1,029. Currently sitting at 62% positive. And this is developed by Host Hood Studio, and they previously released a free-to-play Soak and Splash from Feb 2024. This is an ultimate sauna experience where players can enjoy socializing with friends, experiencing unique benefits of sauna culture. Alrighty, they are a solo dev and they are based in the Ukraine. That is his name, but I couldn't find anything about him anywhere online. So Valkyrie with a positive, with a product receiver free. A silly little game, I love it. There's not a lot of people playing, but I had a load of fun anytime I played. It's a new game. Obviously it's going to have bugs and stuff, that's why it's in this magic thing called Early Access. Good game all around. Faffen Wanner. Honestly, I really enjoy it. I wish the player base was higher, but other than that, it is really fun, and I would probably have paid the $5 for it knowing what I know now if it wasn't free when I saw it. And Yummy No Siren with a negative, massive no from every point of view. Uninspired gameplay, seen far too many times, PvP arena shooter using magic instead of guns, bugs and glitches are countless, it's not an adventure game. Alright, at number 7 we have Ship Inc. Run a wholesome shipping business, a cozy job simulator where you are a packing employee in a parcel shipment company. Follow the shipment orders, choose the package size and prepare parcels. Upgrade your office, deliver orders safely and quickly. This is currently $5.99 at 40% off and had a peak player count of 1,106 and sitting at a positive 85%. Developer is Rogue Duck Interactive, previously released Mini City Mayhem in 2025, which is a city builder, Lost But Found, so a similar sorting game back in 2024, and Neo Dual Backpack Monsters. This is from 2024 as well. They are based in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it looks like they are a solo dev, this guy, Dora Orzoy. He also previously worked at Stratera Games, so Stratera made, that's him here, made Cardboard Town, which was quite popular. Positive reviews from Robin Meglio. I just bought this game and it's perfect. So my personal suggestion is to let us save a game for each mode, so that one day I'm feeling more chill, I can pick up the normal mode and continue where I've left off the last time and so on. Demon Pox 123, fun game, I enjoy playing it, but there are a few things. Placing items in boxes can be a bit frustrating if you don't get the exact pixel. I wish the shops were all in one menu and having to refill options instead of clicking until your inventory is full. I wish broken items weren't so frequent. Variations in items in different styles. If there was a storyline added, that would make this game even better. It's good for a cheap game. IDC Tay. Literally the same as the other one, Lost and Found, but instead of them picking the items up, you're shipping and packing them. I feel like they prolong the game by making stuff so much money, so you keep playing to buy them. Also, the unnecessary amount of stores with just upgrades in them, just to increase the amount you can carry, is ridiculous. Should have put all the buy items in one store. They should have listened to their fans on the feedback of their other games they released, but I guess they didn't. Anyway, can't expect much from a $10 game, but if you're looking to buy one and not the other, this is the one to go. Only because it's more pretty, but that's about it. Nothing to write home about. Alright, at number 6 we have Not Monday Cafe, a cozy idle cafe management that keeps you company while you work. Grow fresh ingredients, cook and serve delicious food to adorable animal customers, build your dream cafe that sits at the bottom of your screen. Currently $8.99, had an all-time peak of 1,233 and sitting at an insanely high positive 97%. The developer is Sunny Syrup Studio. They've previously released Spirit Mancer, which looks like a 2D hack and slash. And they are a team of 13 from Thailand and were founded in 2021. We are a team of individuals consisting of talented artists and game devs who love video games. A positive from Froppy. If you're looking for an idle game that you don't have to interact with much, if you're looking for an idle game to help out with farming and decorating, this is it. It's the best of both worlds. Both gameplays are completely doable with this one and I love it. It's simple but charming idle game and exactly what I've been waiting. The full version is even better than what I was imagining. Graveyard Fairy with a positive, with 104 hours. I adore this game so much. It has a surprising depth to it with so many customization options and decor items. There's also quite a lot to do for this type of game. Farming, decorating, doing quests, managing your cafe and customer reviews. You can even add other players as friends and trade with them. I got the game today, and while it's meant to run on the bottom of the screen while you do other things, I had it in full screen mode most of the time because it's so addicting. The pixel art is adorable and the recipes look really yum. It's my new favourite relaxing game for sure. And Pasaya with a not recommended. There was not many negative reviews to choose from. They basically list out a few of the items that they took issue with. Calling out the tutorial. It's a single player game but has a multiplayer achievement. Some of the decoration items don't go where they're supposed to. Alright, at number 5 we have Tiny Aquarium. A happy aquarium that lives at the bottom of your screen. Tiny Aquarium is a social idle simulator that keeps growing even when offline. Hatch, sell, fish, decorate, go fishing and visit your friends' aquariums with bite-sized daily sessions. Currently $4.49 with an all-time peak of 1,378 and sitting at a very high 96%. This is from Lunheim Studios. They previously released Space Station Tycoon in 2020, which was sitting at mixed, and Dungeon Tycoon from 2024. That's mostly positive. The director is Can from Germany, Onat, I couldn't find a picture of him, and Egon from Switzerland. Lunheim is a small team of passionate game developers from Germany and Switzerland. Our journey as indie game devs began with the pandemic as we struggled to do anything productive while at home. This is some pics of the team on LinkedIn, so small indie dev team. Mitch is Shortcake with a positive. Adorable game, very stimulating and pretty. I love my fishies, but while I do recommend it, I'm not sure I'm a fan of the online implementation. But having to beg for engagement on a Discord server so I can complete quests is not something I'm a fan of. Overall, still awesome. I love my fish. Kero Frogo, this is in my opinion the perfect fish game, a nice balance between active playing and idling, a fishing minigame, breeding and genetics, screensaver mode, very pretty and relaxing, social features but you can play solo. If the dev reads this, please add aquatic frogs. 4 Flat for Life with a not recommended. I did not expect the live service style elements. I do not want to be begging other players to like my aquarium in order to complete multiple quests. I don't want to be limited to 5 likes for other players per day so that I am begging for likes while not being able to return the favour. I don't want to have limits on how much bait I can buy from the store. I felt this limited my ability to progress at my own pace. I don't want limited time offers that create FOMO. And Mitchell with a negative. I enjoyed it for a bit. I don't care for the online elements. I want antisocial fish keeping and it's a little too much waiting for me. I get waiting for your fish to grow and such, but timers on any game mechanic that encourage me to get off and wait starts to feel more like a job to play the game every day. Alright, at number 4 we have System Shock 2, the 25th anniversary remaster. Survive the wretched corridors of the Von Braun. Your training has prepared you for this. Currently $29.99 and had a peak play count of 1,496 and sitting at a very high 89%. The developer for this remaster is Night Dive, but obviously the original developed by Looking Glass and Irrational Games. Night Dive, thank you to IGN for sharing our interview with Ken Levine from Bioshock and was the director of the original System Shock 2. This features some behind the scenes info on the creation of the 99 classic. There's also another interview that they have. This is Night Dive Studios' deep dive interview with Mauricio on the 25th anniversary remaster. So about the remaster, they previously remastered the first one and it's like that first one, it's been rebuilt for modern platforms using their proprietary Kex engine. This was their launch, so thank you to everyone who attended our launch event for System Shock 2 Remaster at Vault 31 in Vancouver, Washington. So the team, Night Dive, is based in Washington in the States and they have about 40 employees. Night Dive Studios believes that classic video games should never be abandoned or forgotten. And this is the team here at QuakeCon 2024. And again, these are the Night Dive guys here. System Shock developers, then and now from left, Night Dive's Larry, Looking Glass, Paul, Warren, and Austin, and then Night Dive Stephen. Billy Wesker with a positive. Hail Shodan. System Shock 2 Remastered is an amazing game that brings the classic System Shock 2 up to the modern era. The graphics have been completely updated with beautiful and vivid textures, making the aging classic feel new and exciting. The gameplay remains largely unchanged, but some of the mechanics have been improved for smoother and more intuitive play. The remaster also includes several quality of life enhancements and bug fixes, making the game run better than it ever has before. The story of System Shock 2 has also been considerably enhanced by the remaster. Shodan, the villainous AI of the original game, is now far more menacing and powerful, making the game more difficult yet rewarding. The other characters in the game as well as the environments and plot have also been heavily revised and expanded. Overall, System Shock 2 Remastered is a fantastic game. It's a great entry point for those who missed out on the original classic and a must-have for veterans of System Shock 2. Hail Shodan. Stanley Halo with a positive. Great quality models and fidelity for a small remaster and a good file size. Only a small handful of quality of life bugs, but there's developers working on these bugs and responding to the community feedback straight away. Overall, if you want a slightly better fidelity of the original game, play this, and with dedicated co-op, there shouldn't be any desync. But overall, with bugs expected to be fixed, 8 out of 10 game or a 9 out of 10 remaster. Jackie Feckles with a not recommended. The multiplayer bugs that existed 25 years ago still exist in this version. It also doesn't actually feel like a remaster at all. They are still using Stups texture mod, which is something I manually installed into the original release of the game. And Clark Veritas with a not recommended. This is an awesome game, but I can't tell much difference from the original game with a few mods. The earlier builds were more vibrant and looked cleaner. This looks very close to the original game. I'll play a little under 2 hours because I think I'm returning this to buy other stuff, but it took them this long to do this. Alright, at number 3 we have Hunter Roulette. Ready or not, this isn't just any gamble, it's your one shot at survival and rebirth. The hunt starts now. This is a tabletop first person horror gambling game. This is I'm just looking at this. This is at $1.59 and had a peak player count of 2,485 with a 81% positive. This is developed by Pili Starship. The homepage is in Chinese, but the address is in Singapore. I cannot find anything else about the team. Positive from Sausage. This game is part of a rising trend where players take turns firing a gun and trying to outlast each other. The core concept is straightforward. A random mix of real and blank bullets is loaded into each revolver, and players take turns shooting across the table, hoping their shot is real. The last player standing wins. There are a bunch of modes including classic against 3 enemies or against one single character across 5 matches. While the premise is simple, there's a layer of strategy that keeps things interesting. After each shot, blank or real, the odds for the next bullet type shift. For example, if your first shot is a blank, the chance of drawing a real bullet next increases and vice versa. In some cases, it's smarter to aim the gun at yourself. If you survive a self-inflicted blank shot, you're rewarded with chips that can be spent on items that change every round. These items add tactical depth, so some boost your next shot's damage, others sneak an extra real bullet into your opponent's chamber, and more. Another bonus of surviving a blank shot aimed at yourself is that you get to make another turn. Strategy also comes from your chosen character. Each one has a unique special ability that recharges over time. Some can block an incoming shot, while others swap the bullet type in the chamber. There's luck involved because you can still fail a roll and make your power useless. Naturally, your opponents have their own powers and can buy items. Multiplayer progress is at the heart of the game. Matches reward you with coins, loot boxes containing new characters or gun parts, and progression on paths. One path is free, while the premium option, available for real money, offers significantly better results, or rewards, Jetstar Phoenix with a positive. Backshot roulette, but with furries. Classes like Overwatch, plenty of guns, tons of items, and the ambience feels like Borderlands. Jeb from Britain with a not recommended. The game seems fun, but for $2, it feels more like a free-to-play or even pay-to-win game. Both of the in-game currency shops are currently closed, and there are loot boxes, which is a red flag. If I'm wrong, I'll update my review, but right now it really feels like they're heading towards a pay-to-win or pay-to-play setup based on how the currency system works. At number 2, we have Umamusume Pretty Derby. This is a free-to-play 3D horse racing game? I have no idea, okay. Scout featured trainees and supporters as you navigate the immersive sports life simulation through the game's in-depth training system and top-of-the-line 3D graphics. If you say so. Alright, this is free to play, and currently had a peak of 25,505 players, and sitting at a very positive, goodness me, 95%. That is high for this type of gacha game. The developer is Cygames, and they released it in multiple variants for languages. So if they, combine them, they're actually second and third in terms of the top played games on Steam. Their previous games, they've released a bunch. So some notable standouts are Shadowverse Worlds Beyond from June 2025, which had a 32% rating with 109,000 peak players, and Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, sitting at much better 88% with 114,000 players. That's crazy. Concurrent. I couldn't find anything on the team because Cygames is just this huge company. 14 locations. They have 3,644 employees with all these different divisions. And I have absolutely no idea who made this game or where they are. They've got all these subsidiaries as well. Yeah, it's massive. So this game was originally announced in 2016. The traditional Chinese version was released on June 27th, 2022. So it's quite an old game, but this is just the Steam release. So M with a recommended. Yes, it's a gacha game. Yes, people will call it pay to win, and yes, some reviews will stop right there. Is it pay to win? Only if you're aiming for the top 0.5% in PvP modes like Champions Meeting, League of Heroes, or Team Stadium every season. If your goal is instead to collect, train, and enjoy your favorite Uma, or compete in ranked events every now and then, you can actually absolutely do that free to play. Can you build a meta deck without paying? Yes, it takes some time, restraint, and skipping some banners. Gacha equals bad. Yes, sure, some people bounce off it immediately, but I think it's not predatory gacha. You'll raise your team, watch them grow, win races, unlock animated concerts, and cool story arcs. And if you do love the anime, Season 1, 2, and 3, the movies, or Cinderella Grey, this game expands that universe in the best possible way. TLDR, you'll see negative reviews calling it exploitative. That's fine, not every game is for everyone, but if you're here because the premise excites you, if you like raising your own team of Uma, if you enjoy strategizing, optimizing, and watching them shine on the track and the stage, play it. You won't regret it. Bluest with a not recommended. Whichever drive you install, the game will always install to your C drive. And a negative from Alaris, but they're not recommended. Didn't expect too much from it, but hooked me in for a while. The anime girls look okay, and the racing was exciting at first, but started skipping everything after a few hours. The career mode for improving the girls gets repetitive very fast, with doing the same actions, getting the same events, and then the same thing for other girls. Alright, and at number 1 we have Persona 5, The Phantom X, another gacha game for 1 and 2. We're the Phantom Thieves, and we're here to steal your money, your heart. The beloved RPG series with over 23.5 million copies sold finally arrives on PC and mobile. This is free to play and had a peak player count of 41,000 and sitting at a 70% positive. Originally developed by Atlas, published by Sega. The dev is from China. So Persona 5 is developed by Black Wings Game Studio and published by Perfect World in China and South Korea. The game is a spin-off of the Persona series. An open beta in China began in 2024 and was later officially launched in the same month in these other regions. It was released worldwide in English June 26th, which is what we're talking about. Staff members from Persona 5 were involved in the development, including series producer Kazushi Wada as project supervisor, artists Shigenori Sojima designing the protagonist, Wanda, and Ryota Kozuka composing the main theme. The game takes place in modern-day Tokyo and follows a group of characters that wield the power of Persona. It combines elements of social simulation as the protagonist uses his free time to raise stats and forge bonds with characters, and dungeon crawling in the alternate world known as the Metaverse. The cognitive versions of the people man in the city, including the Phantom Thieves of Hearts from the original game, can be summoned for use in the Metaverse through a gacha system. Okay, with a positive from Link Super Saiyan. I was really cautious about starting this game. Persona and gacha, how the hell is it going to play? How predatory is the gacha going to be? Will I really be playing a Persona game? Since it was free, I gave it a shot, and I have not seemed to drop it like every gacha. Yeah, there are stuff where you gotta buy and hope the RNG get the stuff you really want, but this game really is a Persona game. A new story for Persona 5, this is really good compared to the side games we have gotten. The story feels natural and it really explains to you how this world is different from the OG Persona 5. I've been playing this game since it came out, and the game's story isn't short and you have many things to do. The UI is not good but not bad. Since it's gacha, there's always going to be a lot of menus to navigate it. It was daunting at first, but after learning and giving it time to learn where everything is, you either love it or you hate it, but I must say for a gacha game, it's pretty good. I'm enjoying every second I spend with it. Red Cloud gaming with a positive. I've been playing on mobile and PC. PC is a far more enjoyable experience for me. Really enjoying the overall feel so far, even with it being gacha, but you can easily enjoy the story and city life elements of the game without needing to spend a penny. In the early part of the game, you get a lot of free resources, so you can pull a good amount of contracts. The palaces are very large and will take a while to finish, but unlike the main games, you're not time limited to complete them in as few days as possible. You just jump out whenever you like, so you can do events and city life parts of the game and build bonds. Nero Nice CT with the not recommended. This doesn't feel like a new Persona game, it feels like a cheap knockoff rather than a freshly made Persona game. It also abandons the core mechanics of other Persona games just to make you buy stuff. I would rather pay $70 for a refined Persona game than this gacha slop. And Fire Snake with a negative. As someone who regrettably has experience playing gacha games, this one follows the exact same formula with rarities, weapon banners, constellations, whatever. The game itself is of noticeably lower quality than P5 or any other Persona. The animations are janky, the transitions are delayed, the dialogue options matter even less than in mainline games. Overall, the game feels little more than a soulless cash grab copy of P5 with none of the polish the original game had and the predatory mechanics that come with post-Genshin gachas. Absolutely don't recommend, wait for P6. Alright, so these were the top 10 games released on Steam, week 26, sorted by peak player count. So I've also got here the location of the dev team, and then where I could find it, the size of the dev team. Obviously the game title, the price, and then the peak player count. So we obviously just went through all 10. So top 3 were Persona 5 with 41,000, Umamusume with 25, and then a real drop down next to Hunter Roulette down to 2,000. So of those top 10 games with the peak player count, which one had the most follows, or which games had the most interest? So Persona 5 with 19,000 follows, second was Hunter Roulette with 9,000, and then System Shock 2 with 8,000. And again, of those top 10 games with the highest concurrent player count, which of them had the highest player rating, or which of them were actually good? So Umamusume it was actually number 1 gacha game with 92%. Tiny Aquarium second at 90%, and then Project Silverfish third at 87%. I should have also included Not Monday Cafe, which also was at 87%. Alright, and last of all, the overall summary and averages. If we look at the averages for this week, average price of $11, average rating was 80, average follower count of 5,000, and average peak player 7,000. And if we just compare that to last week's, you can see quite a significant drop in follows and peak player count averages. Alright, so that was the top games released on Steam, week 26, 23rd to 29th of June. See you later.